You are listening to PastThink.com audiobook. Please like and subscribe, thank you. Chapter 57. The bandits from the Three Mountains attack Qingzhou. All the heroes cast their lot with Liangshan Marsh. Yang Zhi said that it would be better if they had the support of the brigands at Liangshan Marsh, and he suggested that Kong Liang should go to Songjiang to ask for his assistance. That is a good idea, said Lu Dai. I very often hear of the fame of Songjiang, but so far I have not met him. I have heard of him so much that I am almost made deaf with hearing his name. I hope our brother Kong Liang will go, and bring that famous man to join us. We will proceed with our attack on those pricks at Qingzhou in the meantime. Kong Liang agreed, and handed over all his men to Lu Dai. He then departed for Liangshan Marsh. Lu Dai then sent to his stronghold to summon all the 200 bandits upon hearing of the news from Qingzhou Prefecture. Li Zhong also got all his 500 men from Taohua Mountain. When these bandits arrived, they joined to attack Qingzhou. Kong Liang was allowed to pass the outposts upon reaching Liangshan Marsh, and was conducted up the mountain. There he explained his mission to Songjiang and the other leaders, who unanimously agreed to join in the attack upon Qingzhou. The bandits were soon ready, and Songjiang divided them up into 5 companies in charge of 20 leaders. They left the mountain the same day, and duly joined the other bandits in the neighborhood of Qingzhou Prefecture. There all the leaders were introduced, and were pleased to meet each other. Songjiang introduced the question as to how they were to attack the town, and Yang Zhi spoke. Before you arrived we had attacked the town about 5 times without gaining any advantage. The defense of Qingzhou Prefecture evidently depends upon one man, General Hu Yanzhua, and if we can capture him, his army would disappear like snow when hot water is thrown on it. Wu Yong laughed and said, to use force against such a man is useless. We must use strategy. How could that be done? Asked Songjiang. Wu Yong explained a trick he had thought of, and Songjiang was delighted as he considered the plan excellent. Early the next day all the bandits surrounded the town with much noise of gongs and drums. Inside the town the prefect Murong upon hearing of this sent for General Hu Yanzhua. Evidently, he said, these men have now got the bandits from Liangshan Marsh to assist them, and we are surrounded. What shall we do? These brigands are skilled in fighting on water, replied Hu Yanzhua, but now they are out of their element, and far away from their stronghold. I will capture them one by one. I request you to go to the gate tower, and watch me defeat them. General Hu Yan put on his armor, mounted his horse, and led about 1,000 men out the gates to meet the Banates. Out of Songjiang's forces Qin Ming rode forth armed with a spiked mace, and he cursed the enemy. You covetous and malicious thieves of the people! You have ruined my family, and today I come for revenge. Prefect Murong on the wall recognized the man as ex-General Qin Ming, and shouted, you were an official appointed by the emperor, and were well treated. So why are you now a rebel? If I capture you I will have you hacked into 1,000 pieces. General Hu Yan, please arrest that man. General Hu Yan at once galloped forward towards Qin Ming, who also advanced. They met, and were well matched. After about 50 bouts neither had gained any advantage. Murong, being afraid that General Hu Yan would not succeed in single combat, had a gong sounded as a signal for the general to return inside the gate. As General Hu Yan retired, Qin Ming also withdrew without pursuing his opponent. Songjiang issued an order for all the bandits to withdraw about 5 li from the town. When General Hu Yan had dismounted inside the city he spoke to Prefect Murong. I wanted to defeat Qin Ming. Why did you give the order for a retreat? I saw that you had not succeeded after many attempts, and fearing that you would be tired, I thought it better that you should have a rest. That man Qin Ming was previously in charge of the troops here, but he and an officer Huarong deserted. You must not treat them lightly. You need not worry, said General Hu Yan, as I can easily defeat that fellow. While we were fighting I noticed his weak spots. If he comes tomorrow I will certainly overcome him and kill him. In that case we must open a way through these bandits, and get 3 messengers through. One can go to the capital and beg for assistance there, and the other two can go to the towns in the neighborhood and ask them to help us. Your proposal is excellent, replied General Huyen Zhua. The prefect wrote his dispatches accordingly and selected 3 reliable men to act as messengers. General Huyen retired to his quarters, undressed, and was soon asleep. Early the next morning before dawn he was awakened by a messenger knocking at his door. The man reported, just outside the north gate there is a mound, and 3 horsemen are there overlooking the town. One on the right we recognize as Huarong, the one in the middle is dressed in red, and another one is dressed like a Taoist priest. That priest will be Wu Yong, and the one in red will be Song Jiang, remarked General Huyen. They must not be disturbed at present. Let 100 cavalry be mustered at once, and I will capture these 3 men. He quickly dressed, mounted, and led his cavalry to the north gate. The gate was opened, and the drawbridge was lowered quietly. General Huyen and his men rode forth towards the mound. The 3 brigand leaders were still there looking towards the town, but as soon as the troops were near they turned their horses and rode away. General Huyen galloped after them, but as the men reached a clump of dead tree they halted. As General Huyen approached, his horse tripped and fell into a hidden pit. At the same moment there were many loud shouts from bandits who had lain in ambush at that spot. He was seized and bound with ropes and taken off as a prisoner in next to no time. As the troops came forward Huarong shot arrows and killed several men at the head. The cavalry, seeing this, swung round and retreated in great confusion. When Song Jiang returned to his camp the executioners led the prisoner to meet Song Jiang who ordered that the prisoner should be set free. He then conducted him into his tent, requested him to be seated, and then saluted him with both hands. What is this done for? Asked General Huyen Zhua. How dare I, Song Jiang, to disobey the imperial court? It is only the corrupt officials who force us to seek refuge at Liangshan Marsh. We will wait until the emperor pardons us. I do not expect that we would give much trouble to you and have offended you, and I therefore beg you to forgive us this time. I am a prisoner, replied General Huyen, and quite ready for death. Why do you treat me in this polite manner? We have no desire to injure you, said Song Jiang. Heaven knows that our intentions are good. He again saluted and begged General Huyen to forgive him. Is it your idea to ask me to go to the capital and put your case before the emperor and beg for a pardon? Asked General Huyen Zhua. How could you go? Said Song Jiang. There is still the Marshal of the Imperial Guard, Gao Qiu, in office. He is a mean fellow, always forgets meritorious deeds, and never overlooks a minor fault. As you have been defeated after great expenditure of money, he will undoubtedly seek to punish you. Moreover, your 3 assistants, Colonels Han Tao, Ping Qi, and Ling Zhen, have already joined us. If you have no objection to join us, I will retire and offer you my position as second-in-command here. If in the future the emperor pardons us you can still be of service to the court. General Huyen Zhua for some time did not reply to this and was evidently undecided. He saw that Song Jiang was treating him with great respect and that there was some force in his arguments. At last he sighed, and kneeling replied, If I agree to your proposal you must not think me disloyal to the emperor, because your generosity obliges me to comply with you. I will gladly hold your whip and stirrup, and will never return. Song Jiang was much pleased at this, and introduced General Huyen to the other leaders as one of their band. He then asked Li Zhong to return the horse stolen from General Huyen, and this was done. They then discussed how they were to rescue Kong Ming who was still in prison. There is only one way, said Wu Yong. General Huyen must get the town gate open by some deception, and the rest will be easy. That will complete the estrangement between General Huyen and the prefect. Song Jiang addressed General Huyen Zhua, We do not wish to loot the town, but only get inside, and release Kong Ming and his uncle who are still in prison there. If it was not for that I would not ask you to get the town gate open by deception. As you have treated me with great hospitality, replied General Huyen, I must do as you suggest. About 10 of the leaders disguised as soldiers and accompanied General Huyen Zhua on horseback. They reached the town moat in the evening, and General Huyen called out, "Open the gate. I have just escaped with my life." The gatekeepers recognized the voice of General Huyen, and at once reported the matter to the prefect. The prefect Murung had been distressed at the capture of General Huyen, but when he heard this report he was delighted, and mounting his horse rode to the gate. In the dark he saw 11 horsemen, and could not make out who they were. He however called out, "General Huyen, how did you escape?" "The bandits seized me, and took me as a prisoner to their stronghold," replied General Huyen. "There, however, was an old attaché of mine, and he secretly helped me to escape, and also gave me my old horse, and has accompanied me here." The prefect hearing this gave orders for the drawbridge to be lowered, and the gate opened. Then the 10 brigands were inside the gate, and Qin Ming struck at Prefect Murong and killed him on the spot. The other leaders soon scattered the guard. A fire was at once set in the city, and Song Jiang and the other brigands outside immediately advanced and were soon all inside the town. Song Jiang immediately gave orders that the people were not to be troubled and deputed a part of his men to seize the government granary and treasury. Another party attacked the prison and soon rescued Kong Ming and Kong Bin and their relatives. The fire was extinguished. The members of the prefect's family were all killed, and his residence were looted. When it was daylight, Song Jiang ordered that all civilians whose houses had been burnt should be compensated. The loot was placed on about 500 carts and sent to Liangshan Marsh. The bandits then held a great feast in the town, and afterwards Song Jiang invited all the brigands from the other 3 mountains to join together at Liangshan Marsh, and this they agreed to. It took several days before they all assembled at Liangshan Marsh. Altogether this adventure brought 12 new leaders to Liangshan Marsh. After a time Luda spoke to Song Jiang about the bandits at Mount Shaohua, at Huayin County under the leadership of Shijin, and he asked to be allowed to visit his old friends there. He said perhaps he could induce them to come to Liangshan Marsh. Song Jiang agreed to this, and appointed Wu Song to accompany Luda. The 2 leaders set off on their journey, but shortly after they had gone, Song Jiang thought that there might be risks on the way, and therefore dispatched Daizong, the divine traveler, to follow them. Upon reaching Mount Shaohua, Luda and Wu Song were stopped by a sentinel bandit, who asked what their business was. Wu Song said they wished to see Shijin, and a messenger was at once sent up the mountain to report the matter. Within a short time they saw the leaders Zhu Wu, Chen De, and Yang Chun coming down the mountain to meet them, but Shijin was not with them. When they had been introduced, Luda asked where Shijin was, and Zhu Wu without replying invited them to come to their headquarters where matters could be discussed. But Luda objected to this. "If you have anything to say, goddamn say it at once. I came to see Shijin, but he is not here. I am not going further until you explain the position." "We 3 were in charge of the stronghold, and then were joined by Shijin, who became our chief," said Zhu Wu. "Everything went smoothly until one day he went down the mountain, and happened to meet an artist named Wang Yi who was traveling with his daughter. Sometime before Wang Yi had been sick, and had then taken a vow that if he recovered he would paint a special screen for a temple in that neighborhood. One day while doing this work the prefect he came to the temple to burn incense before the god. He had been struck by the beauty of Wang Yi's daughter, and had sent a go-between to ask her to become his concubine. Wang Yi objected to this, and then the prefect sent his soldiers to take the girl by force. A false charge was made against Wang Yi, and he had been banished to a distant prison. On the way as a prisoner he passed this spot, and so met Shijin, to whom he told this story. Shijin was so annoyed that he attacked the escort of 2 soldiers and killed them. He then went himself into the town to kill the prefect, but was arrested and placed in prison. "But I," continued Zhu Wu, "have no plan to solve this problem. This prick, the prefect, is without decency," said Luda. "Why is he so brutal? I will go and kill him myself." "Let us first go to our stronghold to discuss this question," said Zhu Wu. Luda wanted to go at once, but Wu Song, seizing hold of the monk's iron staff, pointed to the sky. "Elder brother, you can see that the sun is almost touching the top of the trees, and it will soon be dark. Luda saw this, but although still angry, he agreed to go up the mountain with them. A feast was arranged, but Luda refused to join the others. As long as our younger brother Shurjin is absent, I will not eat or drink anything, he said. I will sleep here for one night, but tomorrow I will go into the town and kill that fellow. Do not be reckless, said Wu Song. Tomorrow we must go to Liangshan Marsh and ask Song Jiang to help us to attack Huazhou, he said to Luda. I am afraid that Shurjin will be killed before the men come from Liangshan Marsh, said Luda. Even if you killed the prefect, said Wu Song, you would not then be sure of releasing Shurjin from prison. I object very strongly to your going. Elder brother, interposed Zhu Wu, what Wu Song says is quite right. Please keep cool in this matter. It is you indolent people that involves our younger brother Shurjin, replied Luda. Now he is in prison, and yet you drink wine and eat food here as though nothing unusual had happened. He then left them and went to bed. He was up early the next morning and went away without speaking to anyone. As soon as this was found out, Wu Song considered that there would be immediate danger, and Zhu Wu at once sent 2 bandits to spy. When Luda reached the town, he asked a man on the street where the yamen was. He was told to cross a bridge and then go east. Upon reaching the bridge, however, there were many men there who said, you cannot pass this way as the prefect is coming. Luda thought, I come here to look for this man, but there he is coming straight into my arms. He deserves death. Soon the prefect came along in his winter sedan chair, and was attended by his guard on both sides. Luda, seeing this, realized that he could not carry out his plan. He thought if he made an attempt he might fail, and would only be laughed at. Just at the moment the prefect looked through the window of the chair, and noticed Luda take a step forward, and then withdraw, as if undecided about something, so when he reached the yamen he told a messenger to go and bring the big monk to see him. The messenger soon found Luda, who was surprised but pleased when he heard the message. Upon reaching the yamen he was asked to lay aside his broadsword and iron monk's staff, and was then asked to go into the prefect's quarters to dine there. Upon reaching the room, the prefect told his attendants, arrest that thief. And Luda was arrested as a prisoner. By flame, the moth is lured. Its wings are quickly burnt. By bait, the fish is caught. Its struggles end in death.